of strength.
There you go. Demonstration.
Dear fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, let me ask you a serious question. Who is your source of strength? When you face issues in life, when you have difficulties, when you work on problems, you spend hours and hours and you're going nowhere. You don't know what to do. Or you're just a bit lonely. You want someone to be there for you. You want someone to hold you, to comfort you, to give you a hug. Where do you go? The answer is turn to Facebook. Facebook is such a great platform. It gives you this virtual community. Doesn't matter what questions you have, wherever you are, whatever it is. And you just ask the question, and boom, it just broadcasts to the whole world. Well, if you don't have the settings set right. Or if you do, it will broadcast to your 100+ friends on your list. And they can right away respond to your request. Recently, I experienced the power of Facebook firsthand. It was late at night when I noticed some water leaking at the kitchen sink. I thought that's such a small problem. I'm an Intel engineer. Even though I'm not handy, I'm terrible with working on my hands. But I thought I'm working on integrated circuitry, flash memory. I can totally fix this myself. So I looked around and tried to figure out where the water is coming from. And I brought a wrench. I said, oh, that maybe the bolts got loosened and I just have to tighten them. So I brought a wrench and started tightening the bolt. But then I see more water coming out. Oh shoot, I must have turned the wrong direction. So I went the other way. No water still coming out. And I went back and forth several times. I don't know what to do. The water just keeps coming and coming. And at that point I just panicked. My hands started trembling, my feet started trembling. I don't know what to do and I couldn't even walk. I just barely crawled back to my laptop and typed, help, kitchen sink leaking. Right away, people started responding. Hey, don't worry, you will be fine. Those are the mental support. Hey, here's a site to check out how stuff works. Go check it out. It shows you how to fix it. Or just send us a photo and we can check it out for you. Within half an hour, I figured out what I did wrong. Apparently, the bolt I was trying to tighten was not a bolt. It's just a connector. And I broke it from doing that. I learned my life lesson. Never fix anything myself, okay? But Facebook is proven useful in so many ways, especially in this area. You cannot afford a rising healthcare cost. You think the 10% premium hike at Intel is too much for you? Let's do something about it. Cancel your insurance. Just don't enjoy anything. If you have issues, you need some medications, contact your friend in Mexico. You know the guy you met a few days ago on Facebook, and ask him to send over some medications at 1/10 of the cost. Who need a healthcare reform? Or maybe you have a spending problem. That sounds very familiar. You want to buy something, you know you shouldn't buy it, you cannot afford it, but you still go ahead and buy it anyway. Here is a solution for you. There's a website called Blippi.com. It's very similar to Facebook. You just enter your credit card number, and every time you make a purchase, it automatically tracks all your expenses and it just shows up on the website and updates your status to everyone on the list. It is so great. And you just buy something and then people will chime in with their opinions and comments. And, well, for example, you buy a pair of shoes for $100 and people will, all the comments will come in. Hey, that's a very nice pair of shoes. Where did you buy it? Or some negative ones, but helpful. You bought another pair of $100 shoes in a week? Or maybe some annoying ones. You paid $100 for that? I only paid $50 yesterday. Well, hopefully over time, under peer pressure, you will adjust your spending habits and maybe you will think twice before making such a purchase again next time. It also has a cool feature. It lets you pause your transactions for some private stuff. Or, better yet, just use another credit card. And Facebook, it is just so great. Well, what if you want to travel abroad, you want to experience some foreign cultures, but you cannot afford the trip? No problem. just find someone randomly from another country on Facebook and ask to be his friend. And then once you are in, just start sightseeing his photo albums and make some random comments. Pretty soon you find yourself immersed in a foreign culture. You see, Facebook has proven so useful in so many aspects of our lives. But can you really trust your friends on Facebook? How much can you rely on them? A young girl came from Ireland to US last year. He was only 15 years old. He met so many friends at the school, and he was so excited. He asked them to be her friends on Facebook. They were all very nice to her until she started dating a football player. Then they turned against her. They viciously attacked her. They abused her physically, verbally. They called her by the worst names on Facebook. It went on for month and month. They just had relentless attacks. Eventually, she could not take it anymore. She chose to end her life at the age of 15. Those other friends she thought she could trust. Those other friends she thought she could rely on. Dear fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, let me ask you this question again. Who is your source of strength?
Thank you, Ning. I know it's been a long time since your last speech was your first one, and I know you had a lot of things in your life come up, including a new member of your family, but we're great to have you here and show that he is such an excellent speaker. I'd like to ask our timer now, both of our speakers meet the time constraints.
Animesh was a little bit short,
Oh.
about 15 seconds. So, and Ning made his time constraint.
Great, so we don't need to vote on the best speaker today, but if you, besides using this small piece of paper in front of you for voting, you can also use them to send any notes or suggestions or comments to any of our